This Lion fan base, Coach, they have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Coming up, it's the final game of Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a good NFC matchup in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A quick throw taken in by Diggs. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's a 2nd and 7. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
Come on, set.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45, and his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Time will tell if that's an interception that rattles the rookie here. First drive on the road.
And you know the discussion going into the game? Centered on, okay, let's get out nice and easy, take care of the football, we're on the road. You're a youngster, let's not make mistakes early. But now the conversation will shift to, okay, put it behind you, move on. Long way to go in this one. We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, they were intercepted the first time they had the football, but now they get it back, and it's still 0-0.
And because of that, you know what the thought process is? Interception. What interception? It didn't really happen because they gave up no points. So go back on the attack. Go back and run the offense you believe will be successful. Find your playmakers and give them the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Open man is Ross, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. First down, here's the run with Cook. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The throw over the middle taken in, and it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. He'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. They'll drop the throw. Looks to throw. Fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Quick throw, complete out wide here to Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now the Auburn product, Corey Grant. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Stanford looks to throw again. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football as they've got it with a 3rd down and long coming up. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Throwing again at Stanford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And in the next breath, they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up a throw. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Blue 60!
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Underneath for Johnson.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
At the 29-yard line.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Grant. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 2. Stafford is going to float this one deep right side. He's got it at the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. It's a big play there for the Lions. 55 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
A lot of attention paid this week in practice to red zone offense. The coach was optimistic about how it went. We'll see. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out, and the Lions have taken the lead. And there you go, nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Going deep for Diggs. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really looked clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
On 1st down, Stafford here. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. 2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And they'll get this down to the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Kerryon Johnson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10. A run there on 1st down gets 3 up to the 28. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. A dime look defensively for the Lions on 3rd.
Recon, 132 fighter.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He gets this one to Johnson. Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. Back to throw here. And he's able to find Diggs. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On first down, it's Cook. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Johnson the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. Touchdown, Vikings. John Ross, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here.
It's caught inside the 25. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter.
58 yards. That's good for the Lions. First down. 1st and 10 at the 17.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Stafford. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Tavecchio puts this one through. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
Let's go, fellas.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football, because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing is Stafford. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. They'll run on 1st down. Cook. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. There's Stafford. And it's complete. Hooper. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across.
Galladay's got it, and the Lions have a touchdown. Kenny Galladay, 54 yards, and the Lions are able to extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. 22 Jet Bombers. 22 Jet Bombers. Mike, we do it. Mike, we do it. Hey, it's coming up.
They'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And Diggs has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2nd and 9 now. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They'll drop to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. He'll look to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
He'll drop to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. Coverage there by Kevon Seymour.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
They'll look to throw here. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. 2nd and 13. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 17 yards out, as his guys are back within a single score. Bullock good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, A field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And now the throw hauled in by Green. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Hey, Charlie.
Now Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on third down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. Stafford down. Perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Throwing again is Stafford. And finding the tight end, Hooper. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Hey, exit. Let's go heavy. Let's go heavy. Tell me what you got.
Again, it's Stafford.
Give me some.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
You better talk to your boy.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Taken in at the 11. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because
a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
Lady! 52 right here. 52, like 7. Hey, give me your radar.
After the run, now Stafford going to throw. He's going to float this one. Oh, wide open, complete. Touchdown, Detroit. Demir Bird, 70 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And he'll be stopped just shy of the 25 with a penalty marker down. Here's the call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, You can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll set up a throw. Flushed out right. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Yeah, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. Flush to his right. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
Should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Trey Waynes, the Michigan State man, right there in coverage. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
That's good for the Lions. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, they have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Lions as we say so long from Ford Field.